In this lesson we're going to be building the dashboard and steering wheel. And I didn't really have a strong vision of that, so I thought I would go out on the internet and take a look at some images of golf carts before moving forward. And I collected some of those images here. It's in my my folder here on the desktop. I have an image folder here, and I found a few different ones. Looks like that one's not coming up. I really like this one. I kind of like the big knobby tires and stuff. But I was sort of looking for something here. They don't really have too much of a dashboard. I think we're going to make something pretty simple and really exaggerate the steering wheel. Like they all seem to have this gigantic steering wheel that comes out that I'm not sure how anybody can drive that, but they all seem to have that. And it kind of has its own sort of cartoony humor to it. So we're going to just make a very simple little dashboard across here that kind of comes out, extrudes out here, and then go for that exaggerated steering wheel. So let's get started with a polygon cube. Let's bring that up into place here. Set it right about there, and go ahead and shape it. Something kind of like that. Let's move it back here. And even that's probably a little wide. I'm going to go ahead and I think just pull the top two vertices back here. Give it a little bit of a angle, maybe like that. And let's go ahead and add some resolution to that with the Insert Edge Loop tool. And I wanted a little bit rounded on the corners here, so I'm not going to bring these over right to the edge. I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap there, like that. And I might go ahead and add one here, and one here, and one right back there. And I'm going to add a division right here. I might just extrude this out here just to give it, or maybe push it back in, give it a little something, a little bit of interest. If you want to do a glove box over here, you can do that as well, a little cubby hole. So let's go ahead and grab these faces here, and I'm going to push those in like that. And might go ahead and extrude that again and just kind of do something like that. Maybe shape it in a little bit like that, bevel the edge a little. Alright, and if you want to do one over here, you can go ahead. I'm just going to leave mine kind of simple like that. And just take a look at, oops. It's gotten a little too mushy here. I'll add a few little tension lines in there just to sharpen up those edges a little bit. Maybe one right here, and probably need one here on the inside. That's probably really where it's kind of collapsing, and one over here. And probably one along the edge here as well. Okay, let's take a look at that. We might need another one up here. Let's just drop one there. All right, that looks good. There's our dashboard. And let's, oops, I dropped another one in there. Let's get out of that mode. And let's go ahead and start with the steering wheel now. I'm going to actually save this. I haven't saved in a little while. I'm going to do Save Scene As. And I'm going to click on this one, and then I'm going to version up to 2. And start moving forward there. So we're going to go to Create, Polygon Primitives, and let's go with the torus. And I'm going to leave it flat like that. I am going to bring that up so we can kind of work with it. But I am going to leave it in this position right here and in the center. And just sort of go ahead and shape that. And small. And you can make yours as thick or thin as you like. It's kind of popping there a little bit. So the subdivision of 20 on the axis, I think that's fine. That's the ones going around this way. But I think we have too much resolution going on here, so I'm actually going to drop that down to about 8. And I think that'll be plenty. And I may actually size this whole thing down just a little bit more after I sort of take a look at it. And now what I want to do is create a bridge across here by selecting faces. I'm going to select these two, actually 4 over here, and same thing on this side, these 4 right there. And I'm going to make sure I have keep faces together, and we're going to say bridge, open that up, and it's a linear path. That's probably fine. Go ahead and say bridge. So that makes a nice connection there. It's starting to sort of lose this kind of cartoony flavor that we have going on here, so I'm going to kind of go in here and shape that up a little bit. Kind of feel free to shape it however you want. I'm going to sort of thin that out. It looks a little bulky to me. Do something like that. Even these, I think I'm going to bring those down too. Just give it a little bit of an interest like that. And if we are to, I might even thin them out a little bit this way. Yeah, let's do that. Thin it out a little bit that way as well. And let's go ahead, go back to object mode, select that. Let's hit 3, see what that looks like. It looks okay. It's not super cartoony, but it's not looking so realistic as it was before. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to work on the pole down here now. If you want to get rid of these soft edges here, just go ahead and insert an edge loop right here. That'll tighten those up. I kind of actually preferred it the other way. I've got that now, so let's get out of there and select those edges and deselect. All right. Okay, so I'm not going to extrude out of here. I think I'm just going to attach another a polygon cylinder here, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the caps. We'll just zero those out, and obviously we're going to be shaping this down quite a bit. So quite narrow here, and let's go ahead and bring it up, which I probably made it a bit larger than it needs to be. And again, you can make this thick and thin if you want to divide this up here and deform it as well. You can do that. I'm going to take the subdivisions down to 8 as well, like the steering wheel. I think that's plenty of resolution for something like this. And I'm going to move that up there. You can actually see what it looks like if it came all the way through, and maybe added a little emblem or something right there later on. I might do that separately. Okay, so probably needs to be scaled up just a little wider. Looks a little out of proportion. Move that down, and we'll go ahead and add some tension lines in there just so that doesn't collapse when we smooth it. And down here, and we could probably get rid of these this face down here. Face. Just select that and delete it. And I haven't really decided if I'm going to push this all the way through. Might go ahead and do that. Just see what that looks like, and maybe do something with the shape up here a little later on. I'm gonna go ahead and smooth that. Actually, I kind of like that, so I'll have to come back here and quad that in a minute. And let's go ahead and group these now. Select both, Control G, and now we can center the pivot point on that. So, let's just do -55 and position that back like that. All right. That looks kind of ridiculous, so we'll go with that. If we have a real big character, we're gonna, you'd have to kind of compensate and slide it in, so we'll assume the character is kind of on the small side or skinny side to fit in there. Okay, so we've got our steering wheel and our dashboard, and the next thing we're going to do is create a wheel.